What's good, y'all? This is the first episode of the Fresh AGC podcast. On YouTube, I go
Yeah.
by the name Bushido Black, and I got my co-host with me, the man of many names, Mr. Tank Top himself, Andre, aka Andre Zero Stacks, aka 25, aka Omar, but his government name is Shamar Benson. Say what's up to the people.
Hey, what's going on, people? And that's a lie. It's not Andre Zero Stacks. Do not be, do not go around thinking it's Andre Zero Stacks, alright? But I'm petty. I gotta put that out. But yeah, we're just gonna sit here and pretty much talk about stuff that's on our minds, with certain topics like anime, video games, what else? Comics, stuff like that. Like nerdy stuff. So, if you like that kind of stuff, you want to hear somebody else's opinion on it, then come over here and we'll do good. We're having a fun time.
I think we should kind of just tell them about ourselves. You want to start off saying something about yourself?
Yeah, so I'm just a normal dude. I'm a normal dude that likes what he likes. Everybody has their own opinions, and I consider it an honor for you guys to sit here and listen to mine and actually take it at face value, because y'all really don't have to. But hey, to each their own, right?
Well, with me, I'm a writer, I'm a director. I write comic books right now. I'm writing a TV show, currently writing a movie, drop some short films and some skits later on. So the topic that we're talking about today is Berserk, and like the 2016 version of Berserk. We both watched like the first, wasn't it 3 or 4 episodes? First 4 episodes?
It was 3. Yeah, I like to say 4. We stopped at pretty much the part where they're at the kingdom with the priest and all that stuff, and they have all the refugees and whatnot. If you saw it, y'all know what I'm talking about.
So what's your positives about the show?
Well, I read the manga more than the anime. So from what I've seen from the manga, it's very gory, very lewd, and just plain old out there. It's not for the faint of heart, but the people who are into that can pass up that gory, mature setting, then they would love, they would absolutely love this. A good example of what I'm talking about is Gantz. Even though it's not exactly the same, same like setting, because Gantz is more futuristic rather than medieval.
Mm-hmm.
It still has the same gore and blood. Or better yet, a better example is Vagabond and Vinland Saga. It's very similar to those two mangas.
From like an outsider's perspective, like so far, it's really interesting, to be honest. Like I may actually just keep on going ahead and watch it, but it made me interested in watching the 90s version of the anime, and I didn't even know that a 90s version existed. I didn't even know multiple versions of the anime existed until I went to what's it called, Kiss Anime. I just saw a whole bunch of other Berserk shit up there. There are some things that I kind of want to see happen in the show. Just some I kind of want I can't remember the names. I can't remember the characters' names. The only person I can remember is Gus. So we're just gonna call her Jesus Freak. And for the people that watch the anime, y'all know who she is. So
Was it Farnese? I'm butchering her name right now, but it's that kind of name.
Yeah. So we kind of know early on, I guess the second episode, we learned that she's like a religious fanatic. I just kind of want to learn more about her, her religion and stuff like that, how it affected her in her life and stuff like that, because she was kind of just taking that shit to the extreme. She was just whipping her back and stuff like that. I was I was like, what in the world were they teaching her back at Catholic school?
So it was pretty much like what was it, the Inquisition? You know, when Roman Catholicism, there we go. Roman Catholicism was really high. People were like becoming like extreme fanatics of the religion. So a lot of that was heavily inspired by, you know, history. A lot of the stuff happening in Guts, Berserk, my bad, is heavily inspired by that time period.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they had the same decorations and designs that you see in Vatican, and that you see like the Pope wearing and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, I like the fact that it really just like it's really just like set in like medieval times, but it has its own twist to it.
Mm-hmm.
And another thing that I really just like want to see play out and stuff like that is like we stopped on episode 4, so I don't even remember what happens during that episode, what happens after that episode. So like I kind of just want to learn more about, I guess, like I wrote it down to call it the Band of the Hawk or something like that, like the military force that Gus was a part of, that was betrayed by the royal family. And I just kind of just want to see how like his like relationship with the people that were in the Band of the Hawk and stuff like that. And like and we learned that Gus like does not fuck with God at all for some reason. He did not fuck with religion at all for some reason. And I'm like this is my theory. I'm not sure if it's true because like you read like more than I have. So like I was thinking that maybe Gus, the reason why he doesn't really mess with religion like that is because like his group was killed. I guess was his group killed by like a bunch of demons and stuff like that, or evil spirits. I may be wrong. I don't know.
I don't want to tell you because it's a really big part of the story. Okay. Let's just say he went through a lot of shit that would justify, you know, his questioning of a higher being.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was just thinking that maybe the reason why he doesn't really believe in God and stuff like that is because his group was killed and stuff like that. He probably lost faith and stuff like that, or he just didn't care for religion to begin with. But I think it's the first one.
Oh, right. I mean, I'm gonna tell you this. Ever since Guts was born, his life's been just going downhill. There was no upside for him, except for like maybe, you know, being with his group and, you know, meeting Casca and, you know, doing all that, you know, having a passion. Mm-hmm. That was the only upside in his life. And I don't want to spoil it though, but that was pretty much the only upside in his life. You know, everything else just went to this shit, and people, people around him, like in the story, they don't understand, you know, why Guts is the way he is because they haven't seen and been through the stuff Guts been through.
Yeah.
So it's interesting to see how they interact with each other, you know, having, you know, a guy who's been through so much on one side and, you know, having a person experience something completely different in their lives.
Like, people just kind of just see him as like a monster and stuff like that. And like I kind of like the fact that he wasn't like an asshole the entire time that he was on screen, because like I thought he was actually gonna be that way. I thought he was just kind of gonna be unlikable, but I mean he actually he shows some humanity like throughout. I mean like it shows that he really cares about certain people, and and when that in like the first episode when the little girl was possessed by like the evil spirit and stuff like that, I thought he was just gonna be a savage and just slice her head. I thought he wasn't gonna have no remorse or nothing like that, but he had like some remorse. He thought about it. I guess he was like, oh shit, now I gotta kill her too.
that's another thing that I thought was really interesting. They really play a lot. They play around with the psychological aspects of that universe, because a lot of times you see like fantasy stories or fantasy manga that don't really touch on the realistic aspects and the realistic effects that something so traumatizing would have on the mind. Like, for example, in Dragon Ball Z, you have Gohan who sees his dad die over and over and over again, come back and die again. And you don't really see any psychological effects from that, like not at all. He just kind of grows up as a normal dude who happens to have powers, and that's one thing I'll criticize Toriyama for. His character development it's not the best. It's not. It's good. His power-ups are good, but it's not the best. It's not nearly as good as Berserk's, and that's what really sets Berserk aside from a lot of the other mainstream mangas.
Yeah, we'll save that conversation for another day. Cause that's like a really another conversation that I really want to have is like is Dragon Ball really that great? I mean for its status as like a legendary anime or like a manga, yeah, it's great. But like as a story wise and stuff like that, it's not really like the GOAT of all stories and stuff like that. But we'll talk about that later on. That's just my opinion.
I'm gonna drop a bombshell real quick and just say that personally, as far as story goes, I'm liking Hunter better than Dragon Ball Z and Naruto better than Dragon Ball Z. But that's another day. So
yeah, we'll talk about that next time. Yeah, so do you have any like negatives or whatever for like the anime or like the manga series or whatever? Is it something that you would criticize or something like that?
Yeah, I criticize let me think about it actually, because it's kind of a plus minus with the gore and the brutality of the series, because yeah, it appeals to an audience that kind of likes that kind of stuff, but there's an even bigger fan base that would have liked the series if it wasn't so over the top. So it kind of has that like Game of Thrones, Walking Dead type thing. It's like it's a really good series, but it's over the top sometimes. A lot of the imagery we see, in the manga and the anime too. Actually, it can be done without. I mean, I get it's a dark, gory, gritty world, but some of the imagery is it's a little bit too over the top. They could have done something, but a lot of people like that too. A lot of people like how it pulls no punches, and they show you everything, like everything that comes with the monsters attacking, and it gets a really realistic input on it. If it was if monsters were really attacking land, that's the realistic thing of it is put in Berserk, but I don't know.
Are you talking about like over the top, like action wise?
With the anime, I'm not really feeling the CGI.
Yeah.
I don't really think that CGI should be. If CGI is put in anime, it should be done right. I mean, the CGI, 3D and 2D, it seems perfectly in Berserk, but when you look at the 2D scenes, it obviously looks a lot better, in my opinion, to the 3D scenes, and I feel personally it would get a way bigger fan base, and that a lot of people would be attracted to it if it wasn't CGI, if it didn't have 3D aspects of it.
Yeah, I think that's like so far what I've seen. Like so far, I think that's the only gripe that I have with it. It's just like the animation, like the 2D and 3D animation, just don't mesh well with each other at all. And I asked you why, like why did they just mesh those two animations together? And you said probably budget cuts, but I personally don't think those were budget cuts. I personally think that was just like an artistic decision that just went wrong, in my opinion. But like I just think they probably just thought in their head that like it's gonna work, but it just never did. It looks like a fucking animation. It looks like animation from like a PlayStation 2 game. I'm sorry to say it, but it looks like that. It just looks the 3D animation just whacked at me. But like I personally think they should have just kept it like 2D, or just went all out on 3D and just made the animation look completely better than a PlayStation 2 game. But
Exactly.
yeah, but
I'm sorry, what were you saying?
But if they were gonna go like the 3D route, they should probably go like like the movie Gantz Zero. Yeah, like they probably should have went like the Final Fantasy animation route and stuff like that. But I don't think they would be able to do it because like I know that shit costs money, so they probably can't do it for every single episode.
Exactly. And another big like flaw of having both 2D and 3D is that it's like you said earlier, it's not as good as having one or the other. It would be a lot more preferable if Berserk just like jumped on either side of the fence and went all out. Personally, I would go with 2D because a lot more people are familiar with 2D. 3D is more expensive. It's a lot harder to animate the kind of monsters and to animate all the details that this Berserk has. And I think it would benefit more from 2D, but I digress. That's one of the biggest flaws. It's sitting on the fence. It's a lot like the anime Kingdom, because Kingdom does the same thing. But we can talk about that in another episode.
Yeah, but like I think the 2D animation, like when they actually show like the regular animation, it looks beautiful. I'm not gonna lie, it looks really good, and like that makes me kind of mad at the show because like you have this beautiful looking artwork right here, but you're gonna like 2 seconds later gonna switch up to 3D. I'm like, why? This shit looks like crap.
Right. Right. And the thing with 3D too is like they have to downgrade it so they can transition from 2D to 3D, or 3D to 2D rather. And like that's whack. You don't have to do that when you just go with 2D. But hey, to each their own. They decide to do that. That's their artistic thing, like you said.
I don't even know if I should probably ask you this because you're way ahead of me. But who's your favorite character so far?
Oh yeah, that is kind of a
yeah.
I'll tell you who's my third favorite character. Guts is my third favorite character. The other two you're gonna see later on, but I'm gonna just drop hints for the people who do know it. The first one, he's a kid, and the second one, he's a bodyguard, and he's just like, he looks like Brock from Pokemon. He has the Brock eyes. You'll know what I'm talking about when you see it.
It's like the dude that's dressed in green like that. Like I call him Green Flamingo.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I forgot the
he
dude's
develops
name.
a lot. I was about to say he develops a lot more than more along the story. But yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, he seems like a cool character, but so far, like, I just don't know nothing about him yet. But I'll see later on.
Right. Like in the anime, you meet these characters early on, but they all they develop in their own way, like throughout the story, and they become like more than side characters. Like that takes some really good writing to make a side character, turn a side character who's been a side character for so long, develop into a really good main character. So props to the author on that.
I want to ask you, like, how do you feel about these two characters? Like, I don't even know the fairy's name, but I call him the fairy from Ocarina of Time, the blue fairy that follows us around.
Oh, Pug. Yo, Pug. Man, it caught me off guard seeing Pug for the first time. I'm like, what is this naked creature doing on this page?
Yeah, I was confused by that. I was really confused. I was like these characters don't have no nipples. They don't have no genitals. Like, what do they have?
They have nothing. They have nothing. Only creatures and humans have stuff, and they're usually doing it for some grimy crap. It's not like.
Like Jesus Freak has no nipples. She looks like a fucking Barbie doll. When you like take the clothes off and there's nothing there.
Yes, yeah, and that's another difference they make in the anime rather than the manga. In the manga, they show everything. In the anime, they kind of, of course, it's understandable that they blur a few things out and not show any nipples because it's anime and people watch that on TV. It just won't work out well.
And for one thing, like, it's a 2D animation, so I mean like a 3D animation.
Right.
So like for the second character, how you feel about Jesus Freak? like do she like progress as a character or whatever later on and stuff like that?
Farnice. That's gonna say if it's wrong, I'll get it right next time. I don't really care too much more.
Just call her Jesus Freak.
Yeah, she's like my she's big. I like her. Later on in the story. Early in the story, she's kind of annoying. But she's like the interesting kind of annoying. Like she's annoying because she was supposed to be like that. And it's like really interesting to see her go from annoying whack person that's obviously, a bad guy to cool, like kind of, pretty cool chick that's likable. Well, I know I'm going on and on about the development, but it just makes such a strong impact on the story.
Is there anything like you would change or whatever? For like the first, I guess, first 4 episodes or whatever, would it be like if you were the writer or whatever, would it be anything that you would like switch up, or would you just keep it like the same?
Like we talking about story wise or like
yes, like story wise. Story wise.
Just story wise. I don't know, because all of it's so heavily inspired by the manga. The difference between the manga and the anime that I've noticed was they added a lot of characters you see later on in the story, early in the story, and they integrated some elements of the first of the the pre-ritual guts. If y'all seen the whole thing, y'all know what I'm talking about. But pre-ritual guts, they added some or pre-ritual berserk rather. They added some elements of that and added it to the whole story, and they just kind of mashed together like bits and pieces from the timeline instead of just doing it all over again. So if I were to rewrite it, I would pick up right where I left off in the Golden Age movie where Guts was after the ritual. Yeah, that's all I would do. Everything else is spot on, as far as the story goes.
Yeah, because when I found out that there was multiple like versions of like Berserk and stuff like that, I thought the 2016 version was more like a reboot or whatever. Like I guess it's not.
Yeah, it's yeah, they take, and I guess it's so it can appeal to the people who never seen it before, and that makes a lot of sense. But for the people who have read it, it's kind of like, okay, we know this already, we've seen this before. Um, what's up?
Mhm.
Like, why you like guys mixing and matching like it's Legos or something? It kind of hurts the story a little bit when they do it, but they do it in a way where it's not too bad anyway. So I ain't even worried about it like that.
Like I think the last thing that I kind of want to just ask you about, and you can just say it like just say it if you want to. Like it's not really a spoiler for me, but like in like I guess episode 2 or episode 2 when Gus I guess kidnaps Jesus Freak or whatever, and when they were like riding on horseback or whatever, and like she couldn't see like the fairy or whatever because like the fairy said like closed-minded people can't see the fairies or like the supernatural or stuff like that. Like, do you think like the reason why she can't see like the fairy or whatever and stuff like that because like her religion kind of like closed her off from like the supernatural and stuff like that?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, exactly. I think that's exactly why. Because the people in that universe when they adhere to a religion, it kind of commentates on how that's all they really see, and that they can't really, like when those people are like straight up fanatics, they can't open their minds to other things and be able to see, all the things that are, good, supernatural things that are good. They can only see the bad because, well, that's synonymous, with the devil and, all that stuff. But, I don't know. They just really closed-minded, so they just kind of closed the possibility of fairies and stuff like that existing. So they don't see them. And that's all I can really say. The comment on demons and stuff, that's just a theory. But my best explanation is really they're closed-minded, so they can't see it. If you don't believe, you can't see it.
Mm. And do we get to see more about how like the religion affects her and stuff like later on throughout the series? Like, did we get to see like some backstory from her?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. See, she grew up in she grew up like that. In a very, very religious household, and she grew up. This is some really messed up stuff that happens in her childhood. I'm not gonna say really too much because that's a big part of her story. But it's let's just say she didn't grow up like normal people. She grew up in a pretty bad setting for children. That's all I'm gonna say.
Okay.
I say she was fired up her entire childhood. People who've seen it would know what I'm talking about.
Okay, because I was just confused. I was like, okay.
Yeah. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Like she grew up that way, so that's just how she is. It kind of takes a while for her to get out of that, mold that was set for her and be her own person. Yeah, so because you've been asking me all these questions, I didn't even ask you anything. From a newcomer's perspective, was Berserk really confusing or anything like that? Like, from you just seeing the 2017 version, could you really pick up the story as well as someone who's seen all of it, or read the manga rather?
Yeah, kind of. Like a little bit. Like I was that first episode, I was kind of confused a little bit, but like I think the first episode and like the other episodes did a good job at kind of like giving you a little bit of information about what Gus is going through and stuff like that. Like you kind of see little images and stuff about from like his past and stuff like that, like from the people from like the band of the Hawks and stuff like that. And you kind of just know that like he really like I guess go find those people, I guess. And and like I guess episode 2, cause you know how like in anime and stuff like that, like they use a lot of exposition and don't really like use like images to show what they're talking about and stuff like that. Like they tell more than they show in anime most of the time. So like I guess when Jesus Freak was talking about the band of the Hawks and how Gus was like their captain, I guess I mean they did a good job of trying telling you what happened, like I guess before the events of the 2016 version, I guess. So yeah, so after rewatching it like twice, I actually caught on what was going on. So yeah.
Right. So, alright, that's really interesting that you say that, because like of course they don't really get into everything because it's a new series and they kind of want to have that added element of surprise, but I really like how they blended that. So like they made it good for newcomers, but they also made it good for people who've seen it before. And like you said, it was really cool that they were able to show a lot of stuff that happened more than just speak on it. Like I know you kind of mentioned the one part where she spoke on it, but you kind of see how that affected them, and they had like flashbacks and images and stuff like that introduces you to the lore before 2016, my fault. So that was a good job on their part. Yeah, and it's good. I mean, it's good that that the series is able to inspire viewers to see the whole thing, like see watch some of the movies, because the movies really touch on this past. So if you really want to get into it, there's get into the lore before watching the 2016 one. Watch the movies. Like there's a movie on Netflix that that's there's a Berserk movie on Netflix that deals with Gus' past and all that. And once you watch that, you'll be caught right up. I mean, it's really good. And it has the same animation too, animation style Berserk 2016.
Yeah, I saw it on Netflix like a few weeks ago, but I was very confused. I was like, I thought it was a series. Now there's a movie. I'm confused. So I'm just not gonna watch it. I just didn't know where to start. So, but I think the 2016 version is a good way to catch up a little bit on what you missed and stuff like that, and also just giving something new, I guess.
What are your predictions for the stuff that's gonna come up later on in the story? What do you think is gonna happen next, since you haven't seen it all before?
Do you remember that little redheaded dude that was in the first episode or something?
Right.
I'm already. I guess he's gonna come join Gus on his quest, and to be honest, I don't even remember what Gus was doing to begin with. Was he just traveling and stuff like that?
Yeah, he was I'm gonna tell you this. After what happened in his past, he just got up and decided to, move on, and he wanted to take out, some of the people that caused him pain in his past, or some of the creatures, I would say, that caused him pain. So he was on the quest to do that, and he still is. So
ask you about like the brand on his neck or whatever, and like in, like in the first episode, like you can hear like the voices in his head. Like are those like evil spirits, or was like that or people from his past talking in his head? I was kind of confused on that.
They're a mix of both. They're the evil spirits. They're evil spirits. I don't know how to describe it really, because it's a mix of both really. Because he's traumatized. He's traumatized by his past, and he has a lot of hatred boiling up. You know, the evil spirits. You know, they prey on that. You know, evil spirits. They pretty much, you know, they see his hate, they see the hurt that he's been through, and they try to use it against him. You know, that's what he has a hard time sleeping, and he can't do this. You know, he can't like function, you know, properly. Can't function normally because like every time he tries to do it, you know, those evil spirits try to, you know, pretty much feed on his despair, and you know, plunge him in a deeper chaos that he's already in. Does that answer your question, or is this making it more confusing?
Oh no. I think your prediction, I guess, kind of matches up with mine, because I kind of think that the spirits kind of like controls like his friends or something like that, and then the spirits are kind of using his friends' voices or whatever to talk in his head, I guess, to mess him up and stuff like that. That's what I think anyway.
Right, because they like that. You know, they like putting people into more torment, and they like tormenting people and putting them in more despair than they're already in. So yeah. As far as your prediction goes, we'll just have to look at it. Like, we'll just have to look at it and see. I mean, there's some aspects where that's correct, but as far as the overall story, I don't really want to tell you too much, you know?
Okay. So, like, anything else you want to talk about Berserk wise? Like, is there any more questions you want to ask me?
Nah, I'm good. I mean, I got everything off my chest pretty much.
Yeah, we can just end it right now, because we don't have to drag this out.
So, yeah, that's pretty much it. For those who haven't seen it, you know, we encourage you to watch it, because it is really, really, really good. You know, if you're into, what is it called? Seinen manga, or signing manga. I forget how it's pronounced. I'm not good with you know, pronouncing Japanese things. But if you're into that genre, if you're into a lot of gore and blood and action and all that stuff, then it's a perfect fit for you. A lot of the stuff in the series and in the anime and in the manga, it's you can take that and put it in a heavy metal cover easily. So that just kind of gives you a hint of how, you know, intense I'm talking about here.
Yeah. So the next episode that we're probably gonna do, like if we decide on it, I don't know, is I'm gonna make this dude watch at least the first season of Legend of Korra, and like,
all right,
and to me, I think. He may disagree, but I think it like to me it's just as good as Avatar, but I think Legend of Korra is more mature than The Last Airbender. So I think he'll probably like it. I don't know.
Probably good, like I do with everything else. But we'll see. We'll see if it's better than you know, the original Avatar. That's you know, our childhood fuel. We'll see if it's better than that.
Yeah, to me, it's the same. Like, I wouldn't say it's better than Avatar, but it's not. Avatar is not like they're at the same level to me. Like, they're both really good, and like the first season is, to me, is like the best season they ever made. The second season was okay. The third season was good. The fourth season I haven't finished that one. I'm on like the fifth episode probably, but it's okay so far. But I'll probably get back on it. So so yeah, you'll probably like it. If you like what we talked about, if y'all want to leave me like anime suggestions and stuff like that, make sure you put it in the comment section. Make sure you hit that like button and make sure you follow us on Instagram at the Fresh AGC. And
Yeah, we got stuff.
yeah, we're going to talk about like music later on. Like we're probably just going to talk about hip hop more. We're probably going to talk about some more genres later on, probably. But like hip hop is like what we listen to the most. So you're gonna hear us talk about some rap. So and we're gonna talk about TV shows, movies, mostly superhero movies, and and comics, and yeah, that's about it. You have any final thoughts or something like that?
There's something I want to drop to the people listening to this real quick. So this is indeed our first podcast, Fresh ACC podcast, and so if you have any criticisms or anything like that, anything that we can improve upon, please let us know, because we are completely new at this. We never talked on a format like this before, so if you guys are listening and you want to, see us improve and see us do better and see us get better because you like hearing us, then yeah, just give us some tips down below and just let us know what we can improve on and we'll get right to it.
All right. Well, we'll see y'all next time. Peace.
All right, see you.